beginning of each sampling trip, it is important to always fill out your field sheet. You begin by filling out the date, the initials of all of the team members, and the weather conditions. This will help you stay organized throughout the trip. Continue to fill the sheet out as you go from site to site. In the furthest left column, you will put the site ID, followed by the water temperature, conductivity, and pH field readings at each site. When you first arrive at your sampling site, you will locate the area of fastest flowing water. That is the most ideal location for sampling, as we try to avoid stagnant water or water that has a lot of particles. Lay out your workspace in a way that is clean and comfortable for your group. If you have your plastic tarp, use this to create a sanitary surface in which you can place your bottles, the ultrameter, and your bags. Avoid sitting or stepping on the clean work surface. Once your space is organized, put on a pair of clean gloves. From this point forward, you will need to be extremely cautious of what your gloved hands come into contact with. When you're ready, open your Ziploc bag and remove your first bottle. Only remove the bottle lid when you have approached the sample water. You want to avoid air particles from entering the open bottle. I like to keep the bottle in one hand and the lid in the other hand. Place the bottle into the water, facing the flow. Fill the bottle a third to a half full. Place the cap loosely on, shake it, and purge the water downstream from your collection site. Repeat this procedure 3 times to ensure that there is nothing inside the bottle aside from the sample water. After the 3 purges, fill the bottle to the top with your sample water. Cap the bottle immediately after you're done collecting the water. Do not ever lean over the open bottle, as particles from your body can enter the sample and can contaminate it. Your group will have 4 bottles to fill: microbial source tracking, bacteria, lithium and lead, and the aliquot bottle. 3 of the 4 can be filled and set aside. However, the aliquot bottle will be used to take your field measurements. So go ahead and fill this bottle fully, cap it, and return to the ultrameter to perform the pH, conductivity, and temperature analysis. Remove the lid from the aliquot bottle, uncap the pH probe, and dump out the storage solution that is currently in the pH probe. Then, fill both probes, including conductivity and pH, to flush them out with the sample water. Repeat this a couple times before filling both probes fully with water. Begin the field measurements by selecting either pH or cond first. It doesn't matter which one you choose, but I typically start with pH. Touch the button and let the reading stabilize on the screen. This may take a couple minutes, but once you see a number on screen for more than 30 seconds, you can go ahead and record it on your field sheet. Make sure that you record both the pH and the temperature. You can then record conductivity, again letting it stabilize before writing it on your field sheet. Make sure to also fill out the section below where it asks for the time of ultrameter readings. Once you have your readings, you can dump out the sample water and refill the pH probe with pH storage solution. Because you used the aliquot bottle water for your field measurements, you will need to return to your sample site and refill the aliquot bottle as close to the top as you can possibly get. There's one final step in your sampling procedure, which is to parafilm the bottles to ensure that evaporation doesn't occur before you get back and they can be aliquoted. So what we will do first is you'll take a strip of parafilm, which should be in your sampling kit. You'll remove the paper from the parafilm. The parafilm is heat activated, so it should be pretty stretchy. The goal is to get it wrapped as tightly as possible around the mouth of each bottle. Once all 4 of your bottles have been parafilmed, they can be placed back into their Ziploc bags. The most important part of this whole procedure is to ensure that everything is properly labeled with the correct site ID. Ensure that the Ziploc bag that the bottles are in, as well as the bottles themselves, are labeled with the site ID. Once you've finished with all of the steps, you can clean up your workspace and move on to your next sites. Remember to take your time with all of the steps. It gets easier as you've done it more often, but try not to rush. Have fun and good luck!